sponsored by AC Designs.
Lou joins us now, and I know as we're watching Fiona, a lot of us here on the First Coast really keeping our eyes on this other system that has the potential.
Fiona is kind of a wave maker, a rip current maker, and certainly concerned for Bermuda, which makes, I mean, we've got all kinds of traffic as far as shipping that goes back and forth between Jacksonville and Bermuda, of course. But what we really need to focus on right now is this storm that is trying to get its legs together. I don't know, maybe you're a computer model watcher. I don't know if you get on social media, you have your, your various devices out, and you're looking at spaghetti model plots. And these things really need good information on the front end to get good information on the back end. Meaning you've got to have a storm system, you've got to have a area of low pressure, you've got to have these points, and you've got to be able to plug that into the models in order to get good information out of these computers, right? So I bring all that up. Hurricane hunters looking for the lowest area of pressure. That's where you get started, at least. And when you find that, generally Curacao or just to the east of Curacao where the X is, that's what they're thinking is the lowest area of pressure. That's got to get together here over the next 24, 48 hours, and you'll start to get better and better information from your computer models. Because right now, this area hatched in yellow represents essentially all the ensembles and the averages of those of potential for this storm over the next 5 to 8 days we have listed here, where it could potentially certainly impact northeast Florida. Most likely scenario would be something along the west coast of Florida by midweek, and then we would get the crossover like some storms we have seen in the past where we certainly would feel impacts, but late run models, what would be the 18Z model, so a little later on run from the afternoon, has even some idea of this storm coming back over Cuba, perhaps affecting the Keys and the Bahamas. So we've got solutions of this thing going as far east as the Bahamas and missing Peninsula Florida altogether, and we have some that take it over the Yucatan Peninsula and drifting around in the Gulf of Mexico before going up to Louisiana. So much to think about. So stay with us. Let us be concerned for you. And as you go through your weekend, maybe make some light preparations, right? No need to wait to the very last minute. If you're going to be in the grocery store, grab an extra case of water anyway, because you're going to need it, eventually at least. And it's not like you're not going to drink the water. So here is your system. Couple of things with this that are going to tell the story. This is just the next 48 hours. We've got a couple of cold fronts that's going to impact our temperatures nicely over the weekend, but it's also going to be the steering current for this. Now, this particular computer model over the next 48 hours does have it getting its act together. The two sides of this, if it's slower to intensify, meaning if it stays weaker longer, it has a better trajectory of going over the Yucatan and then over the western Gulf of Mexico and not being as big an impact for Florida. Where we could see more impacts locally and over the state of Florida is if this thing gets stronger quicker, which more computer models are leaning towards right now. More conducive conditions. You've got bathwater in the Caribbean, and you've got wind shear that's beginning to die down a bit. All potential for some quicker development. We'll watch it. We will be watching. This would be a midweek thing by next week. So over the weekend, we'll have even better idea. Each and every computer model run, and each and every day we get better ideas. Dry conditions, as predicted, we had this dry cold front come through. It is going to drop temperatures. I'm not talking about early mornings in the 40s where you can put on your wool socks and take a nice stroll with your smoker's jacket on. No, this is it's still going to be warm, but not quite as oppressive heat. Autumnal winds, 82 degrees for your Friday. I'll take that considering we almost broke a record high today. Out at the beach, you've got a high tide. It's 6:56 in the morning. Your 7-day forecast, plenty of sun, very, very low rain chances, moderately comfortable temperatures. And then midweek, notice we upped the rain chances because that next storm system we need to kind of think about.